Hey, y'all. This is Kristen from Weird Reddit 111, where we take a deep dive into glitches in the Matrix and the paranormal. I truly hope that you're enjoying these videos I produce on my channel. Your feedback is very appreciated. Every like, comment, share, and subscribe I get on my channel truly warms my heart. I ask that you please continue to show support. And if you're new here, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please help the channel reach 1,000 subscribers. I hope you enjoyed today's videos. And remember, don't forget to slap that notification button. Let's get started going down the path of the weird world of glitches in the Matrix. All right, folks, let's jump right into our first story for today. This one comes from user Woods Naomi, and it's a doozy. Picture this. You're at your favorite coffee shop, grabbing your usual brew, when suddenly you look up and see yourself. Yes, you heard right. Your doppelganger is standing right there, mirroring your every move down to your outfit and coffee order. Woods Naomi describes the encounter as surreal, like a mirror had sprung to life and decided to grab a latte. After an awkward exchange and shared confusion, they parted ways, leaving Woods Naomi to ponder the reality of life and question if the universe had experienced a momentary glitch. But wait, there's more. Another user, The Sleep, had a similar experience. Walking down the street, he spots a man who is his exact double. The only difference? Their clothes. When The Sleep tried to approach, the man looked fearful, mouthed "don't," and quickly drove off with his family. This bizarre encounter has prompted a range of responses from our Reddit community. Professor Genki, for example, pointed out that many urban legends about doppelgangers involve the duplicate attempting to kill and replace the original. The Chill Taker, on the other hand, suggested that the man might have been frightened because he'd seen the movie Oos. What do you think, folks? Have you ever encountered your doppelganger? Is it a glitch in the Matrix or just a strange coincidence? Let us know in the comments below. And now, let's get into our next story, which I assure you will give any college student a chill, especially the students that live off ramen noodles. This curious tale comes from user TechLabTech. About 20 years ago, TechLabTech was making ramen on the stove, water heating up in a pot on the front left burner. He had pulled out a packet of ramen, opened one end, removed the seasoning packet, and was standing there waiting for the water to boil. But when the water boiled, the noodle packet was gone, just vanished. He searched high and low, checking the cabinets, the trash, everywhere. No noodles. He finally had to pull out a new packet of noodles. A few days later, while cleaning the kitchen, he lifted the hood-style stovetop, and there were the noodles sitting under the burner. Still in the packet, open on one end, seasoning packet gone. The thing is, he couldn't have gotten them in there while he was cooking because the burner was on and there was a pot full of hot water sitting on it. He even says that he's not sure the stovetop could have been lifted without removing the burners, which were all connected at the time he was making the noodles. This still puzzles him to this day. One deleted user commented, "Mice. They are like tiny cats, and I'm 100% certain they extend their disregard for physics to other objects." But TechLabTech offers a more human explanation, suggesting that perhaps he zoned out so hard waiting for the water to boil that he was basically sleepwalking, and for some reason decided the noodle packet needed to go under the stovetop. Then he also lifted the stovetop without burning himself or spilling the water and without realizing what he was doing. To his knowledge, he's never done anything like that before or since. What do you think, folks? A glitch in the Matrix or a case of the sleepwalking munchies? Let us know in the comments below. In our next story, we dive into the mind-boggling world of recurring patterns. This one comes from Just Got Coded 360, who appears to be haunted by a herringbone pattern. Yes, you heard it right, a herringbone pattern. The patterns seem to be everywhere in his life, from his dreams to his everyday life. It all started when he tried on a shirt with this pattern. Then his father's new watch had a herringbone strap, and even the bathroom wall tiles where he went to lunch were in the same pattern. The pattern didn't stop there. It followed him to Italy, where he saw the herringbone pattern on the Shroud of Turin, a significant religious artifact. But the strangest part of this story is his connection with his late grandfather. His grandfather, who was a respected figure in their hometown, always wore a long coat with a herringbone pattern. And guess what? Just Got Coded 360 found a luxurious silk scarf in a rich gray herringbone pattern that he had inherited from his grandfather. So, what's going on here? Is this a sign from his grandfather? Or is it a glitch in the Matrix? Or is it simply a case of the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, also known as frequency illusion, where something you've noticed or experienced recently seems to crop up everywhere? User Soul Captain suggests that it's a case of being primed to notice the herringbone pattern, just like how once you start noticing the number 23, you see it everywhere. User Kevin Mice, on the other hand, proposes a more metaphysical explanation, suggesting that the pattern is a way for life's developers to reprogram Just Got Coded 360's brain, or a sign from his grandfather. What do you think, folks? Is this a glitch in the Matrix, a spiritual sign, or a psychological phenomenon? Let us know in the comments below. And stay tuned as we continue to explore these mind-bending stories. In our next mystery, we delve into the perplexing tale of a disappearing ring. This account comes from Glass Error 88, who had a peculiar experience on May 7th, 2020. It started with an ordinary evening routine after work. While in the bathroom, Glass Error 88 heard a small metallic sound like something falling on the floor. However, upon inspection, nothing seemed out of place. The incident was brushed off as a figment of imagination, but then something strange happened. After the shower, Glass Error 88 realized that a beloved ring, worn constantly for nearly 4 years, had disappeared. The search began, covering every nook and cranny of the house, but to no avail. The ring was nowhere to be found. Suddenly, the mysterious sound from earlier came to mind. Could the missing ring have fallen behind in the room? Another search ensued, but still there was no sign of the ring. Accepting the loss, Glass Error 88 prepared for bed. And then, in the strangest twist, the ring was spotted. It was hiding under the arch of a pair of heels that were sitting out in the open. The ring was retrieved, placed back on the finger, and has remained there ever since. From the bathroom, the spot where the shoes were placed could have been clearly seen. This leaves us wondering what would have been seen if Glass Error 88 had known to look behind at that moment. Was this a glitch in the Matrix, a simple case of misplacement, or a ghostly prank? As we continue to dive into these intriguing stories, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned. Our next uncanny tale comes from our follower, Cloudy Heavens, who recently experienced a frightening event that blurred the line between dreams and reality. This particular incident happened a couple of days ago, starting off as what seemed to be a normal night. Cloudy Heavens went to bed as usual, but what followed was far from ordinary. The dream began in a familiar setting, their own home. They woke up, meandered downstairs, and were greeted by their mother, just as they would on any normal day. However, their sister, a constant presence in the morning routine, was conspicuously absent. Initially, they brushed it off, assuming she had simply overslept. But as time passed, her absence became more and more concerning. Finally, driven by a growing sense of unease, Cloudy Heavens decided to check on their sister. The sight that greeted them was a nightmare come to life. Their sister was unconscious, sprawled on the floor. The dream ended with a frantic rush to the hospital, where they were informed that their sister had suffered a heart attack. The dream was terrifying, but it was only a dream, right? With a start, Cloudy Heavens woke up, relieved to realize the ordeal was not real. However, as the day unfolded, their relief turned into a chilling sense of deja vu. The morning progressed exactly as it had in the dream. Their mother came downstairs, their sister didn't. Despite feeling a pang of anxiety remembering their dream, they didn't want to disturb their sister over a mere figment of their imagination. But as the day wore on, the anxiety grew too strong to ignore. They finally decided to check on their sister, only to find the nightmarish scene from their dream recreated in reality. Their sister was indeed unconscious. The subsequent events unfolded exactly as they had in the dream, right down to the hospital's diagnosis of a heart attack. The airy accuracy of the dream to the real events leaves us with an uncanny question: did Cloudy Heavens predict the future? Was this a glitch in the matrix, a premonition, or a mere coincidence? As we ponder over this chilling tale, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more such intriguing stories. Our next episode of Uncanny Events comes from current Till8382, who shares not one, but 3 experiences of reality bending in ways that defy logical explanations. The first tale involves current Till8382's father. One day after work, he and his roommate had parked their car in the driveway and quickly ran inside to grab something they had forgotten. They were inside for hardly a minute, but when they stepped back out, they were met with an inexplicable sight. The car was no longer in the driveway where they had left it. Instead, it was parked down the road. Both the father and the roommate were left baffled. How could the car have moved in such a short span of time, and who could have moved it? This mystery remains unsolved. The second tale is a personal experience of current Till8382. A few years ago, they had a collection of small Pokémon figures that could be assembled by clicking together plastic pieces. One day, they noticed that the arm of one Pokémon figure had mysteriously disappeared. After a fruitless search for the missing part, they glanced back at the shelf, only to find the arm had somehow reattached itself to the figure. The missing arm had inexplicably reappeared, leaving current Till8382 bewildered. The final tale is a recent event from current Till8382's PE class. They were in the hall, or the multi as their school calls it, which had lines painted on the floor. One of these lines was faded in the center, a detail that always irked current Till8382, but one day, out of the corner of their eye, they saw the faded line slowly regenerating itself. Despite their insistence, no one in their class believed them. These stories from current till 8382 leave us with more questions than answers. Are these instances of glitches in the Matrix, or simply unexplainable coincidences? Share your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned for more such intriguing stories. Our next tale of reality distortion is shared by a user who has since deleted their account. This eerie narrative takes us back to late June of last year. The user was on a family trip from South Texas to California, a journey that involved a long drive. About 7 hours in, they found themselves near Fort Stockton, facing west-northwest. The area was remote, with no streetlights or many cars, allowing for a clear view of the night sky. As the user stared at the moon, trying to drift off to sleep, they noticed something peculiar. The moon began to change color, shifting from its usual silver glow to orange and then to a deep blood red. They asked their family if they too were witnessing this strange phenomenon, but their observations were met with indifference. Over the next 5 minutes, the user watched as the moon, now a deep red, began to shrink until it finally vanished from the sky. Confusion and disbelief set in. They questioned their brother-in-law, who had been sitting next to them during the drive, but he too dismissed their observation. When they stopped at a gas station, the user immediately began searching the sky for the missing moon. They used a compass app to locate where it should be, but there was nothing there. They even checked the dates for the next lunar eclipse, thinking that might explain the disappearance, but the next one wasn't due until late October. They tried using a sky guide app, which also indicated that the moon should be clearly visible in the sky, but it wasn't. The user researched possible explanations for the moon's sudden disappearance, but found nothing. They brought it up with their family, again, only to be met with the same lack of interest. The moon reappeared the next night as though nothing had happened yet, and none of their family members seemed to remember the strange incident from the night before. This unexplainable event remains a mystery and adds another intriguing tale to our collection of potential Matrix glitches. Our next account of reality distortion comes from a Redditor who goes by the moniker Seeker of Truth Only. Their story begins with a strange lucid dream, the details of which they choose to keep to themselves. Upon waking from this dream, Seeker of Truth Only experienced a peculiar visual anomaly. They claim to have seen a grid pattern overlaying everything in their room. The grid was light green in color, and it vanished after a brief moment. Importantly, the user assures us they were not experiencing sleep paralysis at the time, nor were they under the influence of any substances. This was not the only time they witnessed the grid. On another occasion, while awake and scrolling through Reddit, they glanced at the white wall of their room and observed the grid again. This time it was dark gray in color, and it seemed to envelop a specific area of the room. Seeker of Truth Only reported seeing this dark gray grid twice, each time as clear and distinct as the other. Interestingly, they believe that this grid is ever present, merely requiring a certain level of focus and the right conditions to become visible. They describe it as often being faded and blurry, but still perceptible if they concentrate. They even encourage us to try and see it for ourselves, suggesting it's most noticeable against a white wall in a room that's not overly bright. Seeker of Truth Only insists that they don't meditate or use any substances that might induce hallucinations. They also affirm that they don't have any medical or mental conditions that could explain these experiences. This recurring phenomenon remains a mystery, adding yet another layer of intrigue to our exploration of potential Matrix glitches. In our next baffling tale, we delve into the account of Jenny Jukes. One bright summer afternoon, she and her ex-partner took a leisurely stroll through a large city park. Their path led them along a waterfront trail towards their parked car. On their way, they encountered a remarkably attractive couple, clad in distinctive, brightly colored clothing. The couple's striking appearance was so memorable that both Jenny and her ex-partner exchanged comments about them. As Jenny and her ex continued their walk, they never saw the couple again, considering they were heading in the opposite direction. They reached their car and promptly left the beach area, driving through the park's one-way, one-lane road that looped back to the park's entrance. Yet, as they rounded a bend about 2 miles from the beach, they spotted the same couple. Again, their vivid outfits unmistakable. The sighting was so shocking, Jenny's ex-partner grabbed her hand in disbelief. They were left in utter confusion, trying to rationalize how the couple could have reached that location before them. No cars had passed them, nor were there any in front of them. Even if the couple had sprinted through the woods, they would have been dirty, and there still wouldn't have been enough time for them to get ahead. Jenny insists they were both sober during this incident, making the experience all the more puzzling. Another user, Liza T. the Cigarettes, responds to Jenny's account with her own experiences of similar unexplainable occurrences, from seeing exceptionally attractive people who seemed almost non-human to witnessing her husband reach their parked car impossibly fast after leaving their upstairs apartment. Liza T. the Cigarettes has had her fair share of strange experiences. However, unlike Jenny, she always attributed these oddities to her own perception, believing there must be a logical explanation that she wasn't aware of. In these accounts, we see a common thread: the inexplicable distortion of time and space, which leaves us questioning our understanding of reality. Is it a glitch in the Matrix, or is there a more rational explanation that we are yet to uncover? Stay tuned as we continue our dive into these intriguing mysteries.